Naruto vs Sasuke during the Kage Summit arc is something we almost see happen. They had a brief exchange, but neither was close to their full power, and the exchange in question consisted of one clash. On top of this, Naruto and Sasuke are compared in several ways around this time. You have outright comparisons like Zetsu believing Naruto is stronger than Sasuke, and less direct comparisons, such as both receiving a new power-up around the same time in the mangekyou and Sage mode. They even get back-to-back arcs where they get to show off their new powers. And thus, I think the question of who would win if these versions of Naruto and Sasuke fought is inevitable. Before I begin, I want to specify some stipulations for this fight. I'll be comparing Sage Naruto from the Pain fight to a fully healthy Kage Summit Sasuke. This means Naruto will start in Sage mode, have his backup clone set up, and have his summons. For Sasuke, this means he'll have all his chakra and only have the level of blindness he had going into the Kage Summit. You can argue all day about how fair these stipulations are, but I think this is about as neutral as you can be. I am just taking the strongest versions of both, as well as giving them the tools they had in their respective arcs. As for win conditions, there isn't really anything special in this regard. The win condition for both is just to kill the other. There's a lot to cover for both characters, so I want to get something a little simpler out of the way. If Naruto manages to land a hit on Sasuke, it will likely heavily damage, if not just kill Sasuke. Naruto is able to destroy paths of pain with a single attack on multiple occasions, and can even box with pain while in base. Naruto is clearly getting pushed back here, but keeping up with pain at all without Sage mode helps support that with Sage mode, Naruto is physically much stronger than Pain. To put in perspective how insane some of Naruto's feats on Pain are here, he takes out the Preta path in one attack. This wasn't even with the Rasengan either, it was just a basic frog kata punch. The same Preta path was able to put his hand on Jiraiya's massive Rasengan without damage. Most people miss this detail as they're focused on Pain absorbing the jutsu, but you can actually see that Pain is physically touching it before it was absorbed. The Asur path who ripped off Sage Jiraiya's arm was also killed by a single Rasengan from Naruto. Sasuke on the other hand has almost no physical feats during the Kage Summit. He rarely physically engages his opponents and mainly relies on Susano'o, Chidori variants, and Amaterasu. Due to this, Sasuke has no impressive physical showings. The only person he fights who's a physical-based fighter, the Raikage, he needs to use Susano'o against to survive. I did only say Naruto would likely heavily damage or kill Sasuke, because there isn't a definitive comparison I have to say that. What I can show is just that Naruto is extremely physically impressive, and that Sasuke has shown nothing on this level. Naruto just killing Sasuke with physical attacks is a valid path to victory, but that requires actually landing the attacks in the first place. Thus going over speed next just makes sense. I was pretty blunt when saying Naruto is stronger, so I'll just go ahead and say Sasuke should be faster than Naruto. Sasuke is able to duck under an elbow bolt from the Raikage, and landed Chidori on him in response. This was before the Raikage powered up to his version 2 lightning cloak, but even reacting to version 1 is enough. Just to quickly specify, version 1, or V1, is when the Raikage's hair is normal, and version 2, or V2, is when the Raikage's hair spikes up and he gets pulsing electricity around his cloak. In his fight with Sasuke, we get a good visual of going from V1 to V2. The reason I make this distinction is V2 is faster than V1, but as I said, Sasuke reacting to V1 is enough. The Raikage can keep up with KCM1 Naruto when using V1. We see this when the Raikage consistently stops Naruto's attempt to get around him, with Naruto even saying that the Raikage can keep up with him. The databooks also state that the Raikage is a rival in speed to KCM1 Naruto, so him being on this level of speed is highly consistent. Now to address the elephant in the room, Naruto does dodge a top power Raikage at the end of this encounter, so it may seem contradictory for V1 Raikage to be this fast. However, this is actually not contradictory and is quite easy to explain. We know Shinobi's strength can wildly increase based on their increased resolve, especially when protecting others. Multiple people say you get stronger when protecting people you care about, and it's stated Naruto specifically gets stronger from heightened resolve. Naruto is almost certainly feeling heightened resolve against the Raikage, as he's having a mental monologue about how he has people counting on him and he won't let them down right before dodging the Raikage. In this scene, it's most likely to say Naruto's sheer determination and resolve gave him the strength to dodge the Raikage's punch, and that he isn't this fast normally. I think everyone understands Naruto had to have gotten faster during his encounter with the Raikage somehow, and this is just a consistent explanation with in-series precedent. The reason discussing KCM1's speed was relevant is that this KCM1 Naruto should be faster than Sage Naruto was in the Pain arc. I am well aware that Naruto says Sage mode is faster than KCM1, but this means the form itself is faster. What I'm arguing is that Naruto's KCM1 in the War arc is faster than Naruto's Sage mode in the Pain arc, with the difference being Naruto's base grew between arcs due to training. To actually explain why Kage is faster, Naruto straight up says to Nagato that he's much stronger than when he fought Pain. I'm sure many people are going to hear stronger and ask how that relates to speed. Naruto states this right after dodging an attack from Nagato, and right after Nagato compliments Naruto's nice moves. Thus, it wouldn't really make sense for stronger here to mean that Naruto just hits harder, and it's more so saying he's an overall superior combatant. So Sasuke can dodge and land on V1 Raikage, who can keep up with a version of Naruto faster than Sage Naruto in the Pain arc, meaning that Sasuke is faster than Naruto, but if Naruto lands clean, he should win. That should give you an idea of how they stack up in terms of physical stats, but that is nowhere near enough to decide the battle. Both characters have various jutsu that need to be addressed to explain how this fight would play out. Since I just covered Sasuke, I'm going to start with Naruto this time. Naruto's main jutsu at this point will consist of Rasengan variants, the Rasen Shuriken, Shadow Clones, and Summoning Jutsu. Starting with Rasengan variants, as they're the most basic, these are just stronger physical attacks for Naruto to use when needed. In the Pain fight, we see Naruto being able to spam Rasengans pretty easily, and can even use 2 massive Rasengans at once using clones. I was already arguing Naruto's basic punches may one-shot Sasuke, so one of these Rasengan should obliterate Sasuke if landed. On top of the Rasengan variants, Naruto has the Rasen Shuriken, a jutsu that Naruto was originally forbidden from using due to it being dangerous to even the wielder. Attacking the cells directly using microscopic blades and severing the chakra network, this attack was so thorough that Tsunade states Kakuzu's entire chakra network was severed by the Rasen Shuriken. As if this wasn't impressive enough, the jutsu is only at 50% power here, as stated in the 3rd data book, calling it only 50% perfect. By the time of the Pain fight, however, it is stated that Naruto's Rasen Shuriken is a flawless jutsu, meaning it should be at least twice as strong. Naruto's perfection of this jutsu and Sage Mode also means he can now use Rasen Shuriken without risking damage to himself, as well as throw it. After alleviating the damage done to himself, the only real downside for Rasen Shuriken is Naruto can only use 2 before exiting Sage Mode. In the Pain fight, Naruto exits Sage Mode after 2 Rasen Shuriken, and then confirms that 2 is his limit. This also seems to leave him fatigued as Naruto is breathing heavily and sweating once returning to base. I did set the stipulations for the fight so that Naruto has the Shadow Clone set up to recover Sage Mode, so he can attempt to recover Sage Mode this way. Even with this, Naruto will be left vulnerable for a brief period as it isn't an instant recovery, and Pain was able to have an exchange with Naruto before he recovered Sage Mode. On the note of Shadow Clones, this is another tool Naruto has. Even though this is a powerful and important tool for Naruto, I'm not going to say much about it. Reason being, if you know anything about Naruto, you know what he can do with clones. Naruto is also much more limited with clones in this fight, as he said he's limited to only 3 Shadow Clones outside of the ones used to recover Sage Mode, meaning he can't summon dozens or hundreds of clones like he has in other fights. Naruto's final major technique is the Summoning Jutsu. In this fight, however, he won't really be using Summoning Jutsu, as this is using Naruto in the Pain fight, meaning he'll start with multiple summons out. This would include Gamabunta, Gamaken, a 3rd unnamed giant toad, Gamakichi, and of course, Ma-and-Pa. I'm going to discuss the 3 giant toads completely separately from Ma-and-Pa, as they will serve almost an entirely different role in this fight. The giant toads, while potentially helpful as just a way to divert attention and add more fighters on Naruto's side, likely won't be super relevant. Reason being, none of them are nearly as strong as Naruto himself at this point. To briefly explain this, Manda is able to contend with Gamabunta, who is just stated to be the strongest toad, so Manda should be stronger than any of the toads. Orochimaru is implied to be superior to Manda when healthy, and Jiraiya is stated a match for Orochimaru multiple times. I think this means base Jiraiya, but it wouldn't even matter here as Sage Naruto is meant to surpass Sage Jiraiya. This is confirmed by statements, implied narratively, and supported by their respective performances against Pain. Thus, Naruto is massively above any of the toads, and they won't serve a pivotal role. The only exception to this is Ma-and-Pa. While they are also weaker than Naruto, they possess the ability to use an exceptionally powerful genjutsu called Demonic Illusion Gamarincho. Seen during Jiraiya's fight with Pain, this genjutsu puts anyone who hears Ma-and-Pa's song under an illusion that paralyzes them. They are then susceptible to being finished off, of course. I already know some people are wondering why I'm discussing genjutsu when Naruto is fighting Sasuke, because Sasuke broke the Tsukiyomi. There's an entire video worth of controversy around Sasuke breaking the Tsukiyomi, like if Itachi held it back somehow, or if Sasuke had a specific counter to it, but I won't be going over any of that. For the sake of argument, I'm gonna just assume Sasuke fully countered Tsukiyomi with no strings attached. even granting this, there's no guarantee Sasuke can counter Gamarinsho. The third databook actually refers to this as the most powerful genjutsu, and the third databook does cover the Tsukuyomi in it. Literally nobody has ever resisted it, so there isn't any way to say this is contradicted. Thus, countering Tsukuyomi gives no guarantee Sasuke could counter Gamarinsho. Now, this jutsu does have the drawback of Manpa needing time to build up lots of natural energy, and then staying uninterrupted for some time before the illusion sets in. If this is pulled off though, it should be a win for Naruto. There's no way to prove Sasuke could break it, and Naruto could just kill Sasuke once he's paralyzed. Now finally moving on to Sasuke, the abilities you need to address when discussing Sasuke at this point in the series are mainly Amaterasu and Susanoo. He of course has various Chidori variants, but these serve a similar purpose to Naruto's Rasengan's, being stronger physical attacks, and we've already established Sasuke's outclassed in this regard. What allows him to potentially alleviate this is his mangekyou abilities, so that is what I'm going to be going in depth on. Amaterasu allows Sasuke to summon inextinguishable black flames wherever he looks with his left eye. Sasuke's right eye on the other hand allows him to manipulate and shape the black flames. Even Sasuke before the summit can defeat a fully transformed Killer Bee using the Amaterasu, and during the summit was a threat to even the 4th Raikage who's confirmed stronger than Bee. If Sasuke lands an Amaterasu on Naruto, it should lead to a win for Sasuke. Naruto doesn't have any way to remove Amaterasu, and posing a threat to the Raikage, someone who can keep up with Kage Naruto, means it should be able to damage the weaker Sage Naruto. Where Amaterasu would be even more helpful for Sasuke is addressing Naruto's summons. With the Toads being weaker than Naruto, the Amaterasu would also be able to kill any of the Toads, and the giant Toads would be particularly susceptible due to being massive visual targets. It would be similar to how Sasuke took down Transform B, but even worse in this case. Sasuke's final MS ability is the Susano'o. He is able to use up to the Armored Susano'o by the end of the Kage Summit, but even the Ribcage provides an insane defense for Sasuke, with it being able to take attacks from V1 Raikage. Later when Sasuke evolved his Susanoo to a full skeleton, he states the defense more perfect than Gaara's sand defense. If Naruto can break the Susanoo is something that needs to be addressed, as if he can't, it will be a massive disadvantage for him. I'll start by saying I don't think Naruto's attacks, excluding Rasen Shuriken, will be able to break the Susanoo. As mentioned earlier, V1 Raikage couldn't even break Sasuke's ribcage, and he can use up to the Armored Susanoo in this fight. This is particularly impressive when considering Kage-Summon Naruto believes the Raikage's punches in V1 are enough to hurt him. This Naruto of course being stronger than the Naruto that fought Pain, so Naruto's attacks would be useless against the Susanoo. Now, I did specify this excluding the Rasen Shuriken, as it far surpasses Naruto's other attacks. It's a little hard to know what would happen if Naruto lands a Rasen Shuriken on Susanoo for a few reasons. First off, its ability to attack cells individually and chakra networks doesn't matter here. The Susanoo isn't a living being, so it wouldn't have cells, and while it has chakra, there isn't any evidence of a chakra network. This means the Susanoo doesn't have to worry about the Rasen Shuriken's special properties, but it doesn't prove the Susanoo wouldn't be damaged. The Rasen Shuriken can still do standard damage to things, and it's pretty unclear if the Susanoo could take this or not. The Susanoo was broken by a V2 Raikage, but this was only a ribcage, and it's hard to make a direct comparison between V2 Raikage and the Rasen Shuriken. If the Rasen Shuriken can break the Susanoo is unknown here, so I can't really take a side on it. I hate to do this as I want to give a definitive analysis, but I don't want to take positions on things without evidence. I will briefly discuss both if the Rasen Shuriken can break the Susanoo, or if it can't when going over how the fight plays out, but I don't actually think it will be super relevant. On that note, I have laid out how Naruto and Sasuke stack up physically and their abilities, so I will now go over who will win. With Naruto being unable to break Sasuke's Susanoo with normal attacks, he only has two potential paths to victory here, Rasen Shuriken and Genjutsu. The Genjutsu from Manpa will be the most definitive path, as if this lands, it should be a win. The issue with this is it requires Manpa to build up natural energy, and then sing uninterrupted. We see this drawback exploited when Pain kills Pa in the middle of him trying to charge up natural energy for it. Building up natural energy requires staying still, and the singing gives away your position, leaving Ma and Pa as easy targets. What Sasuke could easily do here is hit Ma and Pa with Amaterasu to stop them. In this case, Ma and Pa would have no counter and be burnt away. Naruto's other potential path to victory is Rasen Shuriken, and as I said earlier, I will go over both if it can break or cannot break the Susanoo. If it cannot, it is easy to address, as this just means Naruto has no way to break the Susanoo. In this case, Naruto would lose due to Sasuke's superior speed, and Amaterasu being an easy way to kill Naruto. If the Rasen Shuriken can break the Susanoo, it gives Naruto a potential way to win. But the Rasen Shuriken isn't instant. Naruto needs 2 clones and some time to charge it. Due to manga not giving us exact times, it is unclear exactly how long this charge time is, but it does not seem to be very long. The issue with this is that even with a short charge time, Sasuke is the faster fighter, and all he needs to do is look at Naruto due to his Amaterasu. If Amaterasu lands, it should dispel the clones instantly, which would disrupt Rasen Shuriken. On top of this, Naruto would then be burnt away over time, even if he wouldn't die instantly like the Shadow Clones. Naruto's biggest problem in this matchup is he's fighting somebody faster than him that only needs to look at you to land an incredibly powerful attack. On top of this, he has maybe 2 ways to even get past the Susanoo, and both get countered by Amaterasu. The only way you can argue Naruto could win here is if he waits for Sasuke to fatigue so that his Susanoo weakens or dissipates. Sasuke's stamina hasn't really been shown to be a massive liability though. During the Kage Summit, Sasuke had a fight with the Raikage where he sustained noticeable damage, then a brief exchange with Gaara, and then fought Mei, and only then did his fatigue start to set in. In all these fights, Sasuke was spamming mangekyou abilities, so waiting for Sasuke to fatigue isn't exactly an easy strategy. On top of this, Naruto would need to be able to survive long enough to even have a hope for Sasuke to fatigue. Naruto has no way to stop the Amaterasu, and even if you think it won't instantly kill him, you'd have to think he can take the Amaterasu without debilitating damage long enough for Sasuke to tire. Naruto would also have to do this while still actively fighting Sasuke, so tiring out Sasuke just isn't realistic. Overall, Susanoo and Amaterasu are just such a strong combination, and Naruto doesn't have the tools to address it. Naruto's far superior physical strength is almost irrelevant when it can't penetrate the Susanoo, and Sasuke can damage him with literally a single look. Naruto's only conceivable ways to get through the Susanoo require setup that he just won't be afforded, and thus Sasuke takes this pretty comfortably. The only damage Sasuke would take would be straining his eyes from having to use Amaterasu on Naruto in all his summons. Other than that, Naruto would just be burnt away while Sasuke sits inside the Susanoo. I hope you all enjoyed this breakdown, and if you did, I would appreciate you liking and subscribing. I put out videos like this weekly, so you'll have plenty of content just like this to watch in the future.